More things change, the more they stay the same. It's new ice, a new season, a new story to write, perfect, and tell.
The goal is go to nationals. You know, go to nationals, and the minute you get into nationals, it's a one-game series, so anything can happen.
But still, it's Oklahoma and it's UCO. It's a rivalry born on the prairie, baptized in disgust, and raised on ice. Equal distance from the capital city.
Made by Fab.
Equal hatred for the team on the other side.
Passes it back.
The torch keeps
White,
passing,
centering
same
pass.
as time.
It goes in! Shot by Glass, and it's saved, made by... Big shot, saved, made by Culbertson Bond!
From Bossy and Joy
Scott Joy! Scott Joy! Scott Joy!
to Bigford and Rushing
He scores!
to Payne and Glass.
Tristan Glass ties the game!
It's time to flip this new narrative. We know all about however many games in a row. It's time to remind the hockey world about something we know down in Norman.
There's only one. There's only one. There's only one.
There's only one Oklahoma.
Victor puts a man down at center ice. Big hit from 24. Saved by Redmond. Rebound. He got that one too. And they come down the wing. Secret scores! Big shot saved made by Culbertson Bond. Front shot saved by Redmond. He'll hang on.
Welcome back on board to OU Hockey TV in a do-or-die scenario for the Oklahoma Sooners. If they have wishes of making the ACHA National Tournament, they face off against arch-rival Central Oklahoma here in the WCHL. It's the toughest conference in Division I ACHA hockey, and the Broncos are looking to clinch another conference championship in what has been a tremendous run under their current staff. The lights are out here at Arctic Edge, and the atmosphere in here is incredible. You could cut the tension with a knife in here tonight, as these fans know that not only is it senior night, not only can they spoil the Sooners party, they're having one of their own here as they try to dethrone UNLV atop the WCHL standings.
Yes, exactly. This is an extremely important night for the Sooners, really trying to get themselves a spot in the national tournament, but UCO, the number 3 ranked team in the league, definitely wants to spoil that, definitely wants to continue on their streak of WCHL conference titles as another way to solidify them as the power and the top school in the state of Oklahoma.
Oklahoma has had a very, very tough stretch of games against Central Oklahoma dating back to December of 2019, right before the world came to a pause. They defeated UCO in the final seconds of the game at home at the Blazers Ice Center. Since then, it has been a long streak for the Broncos, and here they are onto the ice as the horn sounds, lights flare, glow sticks in the crowd tonight. It's senior night for Central Oklahoma. They'll be saying goodbye to some faces that, frankly, on our side of the booth, smell you later.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think the Sooner fans, or us up here in the booth will miss some of these faces, but UCO has an incredibly deep lineup with lots of talent, always great at recruiting young talent to join them. You know, it'll definitely hurt them to lose some of these seniors, but I'm sure they will definitely be able to replenish that. But like you said, Oklahoma team definitely will not be missing them.
For the Sooners, the recruiting trail has been active as well. A pipeline kind of being built with the Lone Star Brahmos down in the Texas-Fort Worth area. Many former Brahmos on this team. Shout out Ben if you're watching, another former product of that program. And as the Broncos are entered onto the ice, the officials gathering below us, I assume, Amy, trying to have a bit more control over this game than they did last night.
Yes, exactly. There were a few little fights that broke out last night during the game, and you know, the refs want to try to get a handle on that, get some good, clean hockey tonight. But of course, this is a very heated rivalry. These two teams do not like each other. The fan bases do not like each other. So of course, you can expect a little bit of tension and some chippiness between them.
So we'll take a break as the opening ceremonies finish here and be right back for Puck Drop. All to play for tonight in Edmond if you're the Sooners. Similarly, if you're UCO, starters for Oklahoma across the bottom of your screen now. Declan Martin, Will Blake, and Nate Payne up front. Blue line manned by Hunter Howe and Connor Horn. Brendan Culbertson Bond back between the pipes tonight after being relieved in the third period yesterday by Trey Atanasio, who again, Amy, performed admirably, but I'm sure the Sooners are going to be looking for a gem tonight from their number one man.
Exactly, yeah. And while Adenazio had a great look last night, only letting in one goal, you know, BCB, he has the most minutes between the goalies on the team. He's someone solid, reliable in net, and if you can fix your defensive problems in front of him, then he should be solid tonight.
So the official getting things under control at center ice, and we're back underway for the final time in D1 action. Oklahoma wins back the opening draw. Doug Wakeman wants icing here immediately. He's not going to get it. And out of the gate, Oklahoma tried to keep it inside the offensive zone. Horn will chip it forwards. And Declan Martin on his backhand puts it into the opposite corner. J.C. Dubecki, who's been a thorn in the Sooners' side, was able to get possession back for Central Oklahoma in the defensive zone, and they'll break out to center. Working their way in now, but offside. They're going to have to tag up. Will Blake given some possession time, and he'll go back to Hunter Howe. The Sooners reset here in the opening minute. Declan Martin ships this one just past the blue line. It took a funny hop off of the inboards as the crowd still trickling in here. A capacity night once again. Connor Horn goes down off of the linesman, and now Ben Mondu out to center starts his engine. He'll dive out as Doug Wakeman aggressively plays the puck. Aaron Best is there trying to get his hands on the action. He's pinned to the boards right now, trying to force the puck free. Still in the offensive zone. Goldstein playing support just outside the blue line. And it comes out to Goldstein now, and Jake Barone will fling it back in onside. It wraps all the way around, and a big hit on the far side of the play. One of the Broncos, it's down. It looks like it's Sam Sykes who tried to throw a hit on Barone, and he will make his way back to the bench under his own power. Back on the front side of the play, Culbertson Bond melts a puck down for our first stoppage of the night, and Sam Sykes will get a look at on his bench.
I don't want to speak too soon, but the energy seems to be a lot higher right now for the Sooners coming out of the gate. They've kept pace with the Broncos, and most of the action we've seen has been in the Sooners' offensive zone. Again, don't want to speak too soon, but this is a positive look coming out of the gate for the Sooners.
Cash Regan to the dot. The stupendous freshman wins it sideways, and Rebroker flings a puck around the net. Tried to put it on there. Culbertson Bond didn't have to deal with anything too dangerous, and he'll take his spot between the pipes again. Puck is wrapped around behind him. Connor Horn with his head up behind the net, wraps it around, intercepted, and a loose puck in the Oklahoma zone is picked up by Tristan Glass. He'll get on his horse out to center, tries to work his way around the defense. It escapes Cavalcanti, and the breaking free Bronco is Burton putting it back out to center. He finds Rebroker with some space, couldn't handle a hot pass, and Hunter Howe takes possession. takes a cross check. Now the puck goes across for Broker. His backhand shot is saved by Culbertson Bond, and he'll melt down what is his first challenge of the night.
Yeah, a little bit of a dangerous situation there, but Culbertson Bond able to keep his cool, remain calm, keep that one from going in the net, and also had a lot more defense in front of him than we saw a lot last night.
17:57 to go here in period number 1 on the official clock below us as Carson Glass wins a draw back. The Sooners struggled mightily in the face-off circle last night, and we quickly get a whistle. Culbertson Bond's net came off the pipes.
Happened quite a few times last night, mostly due to players crashing into the nets. Like we said, this rivalry series tends to get pretty physical, but just seemed to pop off right here.
Things go like they did last night. It won't be just the pegs popping off here in the arena tonight, as this draw is won by UCO. Taylor right in front of us. He'll have a pass chipped up into the air. It stays in play, and Barone forwards it into the offensive zone. Sinclair chasing back behind the net as Jack Taylor surveys his options, puts it back out to center, and Barone intercepts a pass near his own blue line. It is chipped up into the netting, and we'll get another stoppage here, and a very stop-and-go first period so far.
I was going to say, we haven't really seen anyone take the momentum to their side of the ice, but there hasn't really been a lot of time to a lot of stoppages so far early on.
Play back underway now as Mikhailov into the zone. He scored twice last night, had a few more points via some nifty passing, and he'll drive in behind Culbertson Bond. Swearingen lifted his stick, and now wrapping his way around is Shura. It's kept onside by Carter Eha. Now Nate Payne forces a turnover and starts his engine. He'll drive into the offensive zone, had it taken back away, and now Declan Martin throws a check to keep the forecheck going. Sooners have numbers on this side of the ice, so Swearingen jumps up from his spot at the blue line. Sooner defense in deep now as UCO chips it back out to center. Here's Stalzer throwing it in behind Culbertson Bond, goes well over the Sooner net. Another big hit behind the play as Will Blake and Stalzer came together. Sooner sophomore had a great open to the season, was explosive against Arkansas and Alabama. Since then, been spending some more time in the bottom six, but still impactful and a great player on the penalty kill. Burton back behind his own net now. He'll watch down ice as UCO sets up an attack. Although near side for Williams, one of the new additions this year to a UCO team that didn't add as much youth as the Sooners, but is still dangerous on that side of the puck. Here's Best. He'll try to chip it ahead for Davidson, who's breaking free. He'll get to the corner first and find Ben Mondu. This is a new line up front now as Mondu tries to stick him into the slot. He'll find Davidson. Sharp angle shot is blocked, and the rebound comes back out and is easily handled by Williams. Jack Williams into the zone. Looks like we're going to get an icing call here as Hunter Howe wins a tight skate race, and Oklahoma is going to have a quick opportunity to establish themselves offensively against Wakeland in this strong defense.
Yeah, and over in the corner we could see Mondu and Guerra getting into it a little bit, but the refs were quick to separate the two of them. But right now it seems like the Sooners are kind of in the right places at the right time, playing better defense than last night in front of BCB and net, and able to give themselves a few opportunities to get some shots off so far.
Just over 4 minutes past. Face-off coming to the left side of Doug Wakeland. Glass is contested, and Burton will sweep in from the side and carry this one back out to center by himself. Burton charging past Goldstein, got his stick tied up, and he'll leave it for Zach Guerra. Guerra this way for Toussaint. His shot deflected and handled by Culbertson Bond. Cavalcanti sweeps up the loose change and breaks out to center. Plays it off the wall. Becky able to intercept that one and play it back to where UCO gets possession. Right in front of us now, Broker tries to break in as Goldstein able to fork it back out to center. Becky near side as Taylor forces it back deep into the zone. Goldstein hurrying back in, tried to leave it for Barone, left his stick, and Carson Glass there to clean this one up. Nearly pawed down by a Broncos. Glass, William Baird back in the lineup tonight, following him into the zone as Carson Bassett seals it off at the blue line. Turned over now, here's Carson Glass, he'll walk, shoot one that is saved by Doug Wakeland, and he'll swallow the first chance from Oklahoma.
And a great opportunity there for Carson Glass. Unfortunately, like we talked about last night, Doug Wakeland is absolutely incredible in net for UCO. But for Carson Glass, only for a freshman, he's had some incredible games, not afraid to get physical, especially against the lineup that has so much age and experience like UCO. The Sooners are going to look for him to help them out tonight.
So if the Sooners could, we're going to try that again, another re-rack here. And to say if the Sooners could nominate one, I would say it's probably Carson Glass, who's the Sooners' Selke nominee as their best defensive forward this year, despite being a freshman, as a quick slap shot off the draw is blocked in front. That never got home, and UCO brings it back out to center. It's spun in. St. Clair will chase this one around. Carson Bassett hurrying, trying to find it. Two players go down in front of the play, and St. Clair squeezes the buck to the boards between his skates. Broncos get it back out. Here's a shot gloved by Culbertson Bond, and he'll hang on for a whistle.
Yeah, great glove side save there from BCB. And this is probably why the coaching staff decided to start him again against an experienced lineup like UCO. You want to have your most experienced man in net. He's faced UCO quite a few times. Not to say, though, that Adenazio hasn't had some great tenures in net so far. Called upon.
Right off the draw, Mikhailov got a shot away that right where he likes it from that bumper spot through traffic. Culbertson Bond pads it away with authority. Shura plays one off the boards. Dangerous in front, and Culbertson Bond has to kick that one away. Another shot, scores! Through traffic. UCO is back out on top early on.
Yeah, unfortunately, after a little bit of confusion in net, the Sooners were not able to get back in the right spots that they needed to create that a great shot from Shura. UCO back on top early. And the Sooners will need to climb back from another deficit tonight.
Tough shot to see for Culbertson Bond. It was low and along the ice, and it beats the Sooner netminder. Oklahoma behind the 8 ball again here tonight. About 6 minutes into play as BCB will again force one back up into the netting.
The fan behind the glass looks happy with their souvenir. Not sure which team they're rooting for, but regardless, I'm sure they'll enjoy it.
See a plethora of hockey jerseys here all throughout the year. All kinds of allegiances that you find in a state without its own professional team outside of the ECHL's Oilers. Speaking of, check out the Oilers if you want to get your tickets to Bedlam on Ice next weekend. Yearly tradition as Davidson off the draw tries to ward Burton off the puck. He couldn't do it. The Sooners still offside. Best needs to tag up. Now he does. And UCO breaks back out to center. 13:30 to go as Goldstein tried to deke around Guerra. Guerra gets the puck back, takes a cross-check from Mondu that the Quebecois may have gotten away with. And Best in the corner now is going to be plastered to the board. Shot goes wide of BCB. Davison will gather things up and backhand it out to center. A spinning puck settles down for Davin Burton. Mondu behind him trying to force a turnover. Cavalcanti back out to center. Now a long pass off the paddle of BCB. He'll leave it in play for Swearingen. Bassett Best chips it up to center ice now, and the Sooners starting to fall into the trap they were in last night. Not able to get into the UCO zone. The shot on goal total ballooning out to 5-1 now as the puck comes back out to center. It evades Swearingen. Here's Doucet walking in. He has some space to work with, and he'll backhand it across the crease. Cash Regan picks it up now and leaves it for Doucet. Back out towards the blue line. Dubecki at center ice. Regan again. Backhanding it in. Rebroker chases after this one. He's going to win a skate race against Carson Bassett. Takes a hit to leave it for Rebroker. They're fighting for the puck in the corner, and it comes away up top for Jack Taylor. Taylor shot along the ice and grabbed by Culbertson Bond. That one's not going to beat him, and now we'll have some words exchanged between both sides in front.
Yeah, it looked like Robbie Rebroker for UCO and I believe Carson Bassett for the Sooners. Again, nothing too serious now for any penalties, but if you're the Sooners after the game last night where they took a few penalties and UCO made them pay quite a few times, you really want to be careful. I know it's a tense, heated rivalry and you want to beat them, but you have to be careful with your aggression. You don't want to fall behind with a man down.
Right off the draw, another shot through traffic. Looks like a set play from UCO tonight. Sinclair will scoop this one up, get it back out of danger, and the Sooners reset, and a head-hunting puck finds Tyler Huberty. He's okay. Another whistle at center ice as tension starting to flare on the far side of the dot. Sinclair getting engaged as the draw is won by Carson Glass, picked up by Hunter Howe, and with his head up he forwards it into UCO territory. Further around, Horn keeps it in the offensive zone and takes a hit to make it happen. No penalty on the play, say the officials, and we play on. St. Clair back to the point. Here's Dubecki's shot along the ice wide. And now we're going to get a whistle. I think the net may have come off the moorings again.
Yeah, no call there on that hit, but the OU bench didn't seem too bothered by that. We talked about earlier, the Sooners are kind of right now falling into that trap that we saw them in last night, not able to get the puck past the blue line into UCO, zone. And that's something that they need to do tonight. Last night, they did have a pretty similar amount of shots on goal to UCO, but to get those same number of quality shots is extremely important if they want to score more than one tonight, which you will need to against this UCO team.
Payne nearly got the Sooners back into it before things got out of hand as a shot deflects off of Wakeland. It was cleaned up by a UCO defender behind the play. Another shot by Goldstein off the foot of Kraus. No play at the stalls are now picked up by the Sooners again. Payne works it around, shoots one, tipped in front. Rebound is there, and what a save by Wakeland. Will Baird nearly tied it. Still dangerous here as Bassett puts one along the ice. William Blake holds it in the zone and forwards it in deep. Stalzer back out to the blue line, held onside, but UCO gets possession back. William Baird in the lineup tonight, one of those veteran Sooners that, despite his great tenure with the team, has not seen a victory against UCO, and you can see how much he wants it, along with some of the other vets inserted back in the lineup tonight. Bassett at his own blue line, forwards it back out to center. You can hear the approval of OU's coaching staff about the effort they just showed in the offensive zone behind us as 10:28 to go. They have gotten back in the possession game.
Yeah, and speaking of the OU coaching staff, assistant coach Ty Huberty on the bench seems a lot more excited about the way things are going tonight. Last night he expressed similar frustration to his players, but right now I see him tapping on helmets, telling them good job, trying to motivate them. Shots on goal right now are 5-4 in favor of UCO, so the Sooners have definitely created some good opportunities for themselves.
Doug Wakeland stoned William Baird on that shot as right off the draw, UCO had one blocked in front. Here's Williams below us. Cameron Williams, that is, as he forks one into the middle. Here's Sykes back after a hard hit earlier. Good to see he's okay. And Guerra forces a turnover. Couldn't drive in deep. Best scoops it up and will safely dump it back out to center. Spoke in one of the intermissions last night with Alan Glass, the strength and conditioning coach for these Sooners, and he said he wanted to see them play more offensively minded last night than they were throughout the first two periods. And right there, we saw it for a quick possession as the Sooners established the forecheck, and Nate Payne, ever known for getting pucks on net, nearly started a scoring opportunity. Sooners resetting here because Cavalcanti blew a tire back behind the play. He's back on his feet now and will chase a puck into the offensive zone. He meets Jack Taylor there, tries to leave it for Glass. Andrew Lowe gets in the play, nearly turned over for Cavalcanti, and Taylor again behind his own net. Here's Lowe circling in the slot. Glass's shot, rebound is there, and cleaned up by Taylor. Rebroker brings it back out of the zone, and Andrew Lowe on his horse lifts his stick. Here's Cash Regan stopping and starting. A shot blocked by Hunter Howe, and back out in front. Here's a shot from Doucet, and a great save by Culbertson Bond. 6-4, the shots on goal total now 1-0 where it counts. If you just joined us, a stinging shot from the point evaded Culbertson Bond, and he fell down in the crease trying to locate it about 6 minutes into play tonight. I want to remind everybody that OU Hockey is a non-profit organization in the ACHA's WCHL, and that a tax-deductible donation is greatly appreciated no matter the amount. You can learn more at ouhockey.com about how you can make an impact. As UCO back into the offensive zone now, Culbertson Bond will watch this one go behind him. 8:25 to go now as the Sooners trying to establish possession back for themselves, and a shot from the bumper. St. Clair had it blocked in front by Horn. Sinclair back out to center. Shura is there. 3 players go down. An inadvertent collision at center ice, and the Sooners may have numbers here as Sinclair leads the way into the zone. He had a goal last night, and a shot is snagged by Doug Wakeland.
Yeah, and we talked about Wakeland last night, boasting a .943 save percentage. So let's look at the shots from some of these Broncos. BCB also being pretty solid in net. Unfortunately, last night didn't show it, but Sooners only down 1-0 with around 8 minutes remaining in this first period. Still plenty of time for the offense in front of BCB to put up some goals and try to get this team a long-awaited win against UCO.
Contested draws, Baird able to hold it steady for William Blake, and now Payne and what is a big forechecking line Coach A has put together now. A couple of Broncos go down in the corner. Payne gets possession. Sharp angle shot snared by Wakeland.
A little bit of a scrum there to get the puck, but a great shot. Unfortunately, just not able to go through, but the Sooners now are peppering them on the net, and this is exactly what they need to do. This is what they struggled with last night, keeping possession in their own offensive zone.
Off the draw, Barone, a shot deflected and wide. Here's Goldstein on his horse back the other way. Stalzer behind the Sooners, and a late icing call. OU may have been given a gift there.
Yeah, Stalzer and the UCO bench not happy. Understandably so. It seemed that the puck was a little too far in, close to touch. A very close call, I'll say. Not happy from UCO, and like you say, definitely OU's not going to argue with that one. They'll take some help. Yeah, and the refs are starting to hear it from the crowd now as well.
Do have a couple of new officials here in the crew tonight that we haven't seen yet this season. As off the draw, Barone again, a shot deflected, and Wakeland couldn't see it. And it goes harmlessly back behind the net. Will Blake back at the center. Barone nearly stole it away from the Broncos, gets it back into plus territory. And Burton will spin away with the puck and play it back out to center. It goes off of Barone's stick, so no danger of icing here. And he plays it to Goldstein. Goldstein into the middle of the ice, turned over here for Burton. And a nice cleanup play by Barone to get out of position there to help clean that one up. 7:05 to go now as the Sooners have tied the shots on goal total at 6 apiece. And Blaha will try to put it back into the zone. Check forward has been another thorn in the Sooners' side as Tristan Davidson leads the rush into the zone. He'll make a nice move to gain some space. Tries to drop for Mondu, but turned it over. And away go the Broncos on the rush. Here's Guerra as the crowd back into this game now. Turns it over for Davison, and now a 2-on-1 the other way. Developing. It was just out of the reach of Aaron Best. And I think we have a call behind the action. Connor Horns going to the penalty box for a high stick.
Now this is where it can get really dicey for the Sooners. Last night we saw that any mistakes they made were capitalized on by UCO. So they really have to focus on this penalty kill right now, keeping any goal out of the net and stopping this lead from ballooning like it did last night.
So the Glass brothers back out on the PK, Swearingen and Horn on the back end in front of Culbertson Bond, who has been this team's most important penalty killer all season long. Second-ranked power play in the conference for UCO. 6th-ranked penalty kill for Oklahoma. As two of the associate captains here, Glass and Swearingen, have a chat before the draw. False start there. We'll reset things. So a really contested draw here. 4 players fighting for possession, and it comes back. And Blaha at the top will get it back to Dubecki at the top of this umbrella for UCO. Dubecki and Blaha having a catch as it comes to Sykes. He scored last night. Across for Blaha. His shot, Culbertson Bond juggles that one and hangs on to it.
Yeah, that was a little scary seeing it pop up and back into Culbertson Bond's glove. But a nice save so far. But the Sooners are what they failed to do last night a lot of the time on the power play was just clear the puck down the ice, which is a lot easier said than done, especially facing off against a team like UCO. But they're going to want to do that tonight to kill some time off of the clock.
Off the draw, Dubecki will clean it up out of the face-off circle and find Blaha again. They'll set up in the same way. Here's Sykes near side. Back up for Dubecki. He'll survey into the corner. Guerra having a catch now. Dubecki back up top. Hill survey. Shoot one. Caught by Culbertson Bond. Rebound is there. It's behind the net still, and I think he held it out. He did, and the whistle is blown to halt things there.
An incredible save, and we see, oh, never mind, Sykes, he was laying down, but he got back up. I think it was just heat of the moment, the anticipation, waiting for something to happen, but a great save by BCB in net, and that's why you trust someone with their experience behind the net, getting some pats from his teammates. A job well done. As UCO will refresh their power play unit, and the Sooners add a few different names to the penalty kill.
Playback underway now as a long 40 seconds so far for the PK. Puck into the slot. Culbertson Bond another save, and he'll cover it up here. Sooners just trying to chunk seconds away at the moment, it seems.
Yeah, this kind of resembles the beginning of this first period. A lot of stop and go, which is a good thing. You don't want UCO to pick up on any momentum, but you'd also just like to see a nice few clears from this penalty kill unit.
And a rebound scores. Culbertson Bond was down in the crease again. It popped over his head. It's going to count. 5:44 to go, and the Broncos have struck again.
And that's just unfortunate for the Sooners. Looked like another great save by BCB, but those pesky dribbles in front of the net, they'll get you. And it led to a 2-0 lead for the Broncos.
Displeasure from the Sooner bench, who had played a pretty good period up to this point, and now special teams, a demon. At the blue line now, Blake trying to keep it out of the zone. He'll come back in behind Culbertson Bond. Howe plays it, and he'll work it around for Nate Payne. Payne couldn't handle the pass. It's behind the net again. And UCO starting to establish pressure here as Kraus behind the net keeps it in deep. St. Clair will work it around the net. Up top for Shura. Shura holds it onside. Here's a shot deflected and picked out of the air by BCB. UCO is just excellent at keeping their foot on the gas after they score and putting it to a team's throat.
Exactly. They're definitely never a team that'll take it chill when they have a lead at all. And they want to win by as many goals as possible, which explains why they're so good. They're ranked number 3 in the WCHL or ACHA, for a reason. And unfortunately, this pressure, the Sooners need to learn how to counteract it and get themselves on the board.
So Barone will get it just past center ice, dump a puck in that took a funky hop. Davison got his stick to it, and Best can't force possession back to himself. Here's Mondu in on the play. He'll find some space to work with and wrap it around for Best. Best, a centering feed was chipped away, and Davidson couldn't get a stick on the puck. Here's UCO with speed, a nice play from Cash Regan. He'll work his way in, a centering pass dislodges the net, and that'll stop play and make things redundant.
Yeah, and we see that shot on goal total go from even at 6-6 to 14-6 in favor of UCO, and that's why it's so important for the Sooners to get things past the blue line, get things in UCO's zone, because when they do that, they're keeping it, away from UCO and preventing their chances. And even if they have not scored yet, definitely helps to keep that total down for UCO.
So BCB and the official having a quick laugh together, and we're about set to get things underway here. 4:42 on the clock in front of us. We'll sync up, get things going once again. Regan picks up a quick rebound. UCO firing everything on net tonight. And Mondu back up to center ice. He'll gain possession and work out with Best. He'll drop it for Aaron Best, has it in his skates, taking on 2 Broncos now and loses possession. Cavalcanti back on the ice now. Sooners caught in the midst of a change here as Swearingen seals off the edge and dumps the puck back in. Here's Best. He's got a step on Jack Taylor and rips the helmet off Taylor. He's going to have to come off the ice. Play is stopped. And we will slow things down.
Picks up the helmet on the stick, does Taylor. Of course, these games can get a little chippy, but it is all about safety, especially for these players. And playing this high-intensity hockey without a helmet is definitely not ideal.
Still awaiting the draw as the officials conversing. Whistle is blown. We're ready to go now. Glass, Cavalcanti, and Lowe back out for Arvanitas. Bassett and Swearingen on the back end. So puck is dropped and Rebroker pushes it onto the sideboards. Dubecki will chase this one down in the corner, turn on Tristan Glass, and dump it back out to center. Cavalcanti head on a swivel, finds Swearingen on his backhand. Nobody home for his pass, and it's dumped back into OU territory. Swearingen a backhand feed that Tristan Glass can't handle at center ice. And Lowe forwards it back into the zone now. Sykes leaves a puck there for Guerra. He'll make his way into the zone. Sam Sykes is being just absolutely plastered by the Sooners so far tonight, and he'll work out in front. He couldn't get it to his stick. Takes another hit from Tristan Glass, his opposite number, who breaks out to center. Glass will go off for a change here as Andrew Lowe applying pressure in the offensive zone. This evades everything. No icing here as a spinning puck jumps over the stick of Connor Horn. We'll work it out to center. Cavalcanti chips it in. Sooners going for a change. And a late icing call is going to stop everything, and OU will go back out onto the ice.
And you mentioned how much early on in this game the Sooners have been focusing on Sykes. And I mean, he was one of the main reasons that UCO was able to have such a convincing win last night. He's definitely one of those players that you want to keep in check. You don't want to let him get open very often, because when he shoots, he very often scores.
Carries a deadly shooting percentage. And back underway, a long shot from Burton is handled by the OU defense. I think that caught Connor Horn, who stays on his feet and will come out to center. Sooners force a turnover in the zone now. Blake had his stick lifted. Horn tried to seal it off, couldn't do it, and he'll turn back the other way as William Blake still applying some pressure into the neutral ice. We're working into the offensive zone. Here's Burton. Goes far side for Dubecki. He surveys and will dump it back into OU territory. Chipped in. Onside as Howe picks this one up. He looks for William Baird. Connor Horn will work it to Nate Payne. Soccer style by William Baird. No risk of an icing here as it was tipped in as Burton double teamed in the corner, gets it away to Stalzer. And Stalzer fanned on a pass, gets possession back, and will chip it out. Nate Payne forces it back in as teams continue to play a bit of ping pong in the midst of 2 line changes. 2:10 to go. Mondu nearly intercepted a pass right at the blue line. He chips it in for Goldstein, rather. And Barone will try to get it back out of the zone. Here's Payne with his head up. Puts it off the glass for Mondu. He'll try to chip it out, and now here's St. Clair. He'll walk in and shoot one wide of Culbertson Bond. Mondu trying to gather, couldn't do it. And here is Hogan walking in. He'll drop it behind Culbertson Bond. Barone giving chase. He'll take down a Bronco and get it to Ben Mondu. Mondu triple teamed, and it looks like in the midst of it, he took a stick up high, and the Sooners are going to go to a power play here with 1:37 to go in the period.
This is exactly what the Sooners need, but last night we saw them go on quite a few power plays, and there was not much at all to show for it. So right now they need to show that tonight they've refocused. Their unit will come out strong and hopefully get the Sooners on net. On the board. And you'd love to see them head into the second period with at least 1 goal for themselves.
Jamison St. Clair, the freshman from Aitkin, Minnesota, is the penalized party, and Oklahoma wins the draw back here. Carson Bassett with his head up will drive in towards the corner and find Tristan Davison. They have a quick catch as Bassett back up top for Barone. He finds William Blake. Blake, Barone again. He'll get it across for Bassett. He'll walk the line, forward it in front, and a tip shot went wide of everything. Guerra is there, got it back out to center, and here's trouble as Sam Sykes out to center. Culbertson Bond will stay in the net. Sykes, a shot and a save by Culbertson Bond. Carson Bassett says, here you go, goalie, and OU will melt it down in their own zone.
I was just going to say UCO is still an incredibly dangerous team even when they're at the disadvantage because of their strength regularly. And last night we saw quite a few odd man rushes and shorthanded opportunities for UCO. OU needs to keep those to a minimum tonight. Remember, they're on the power play. They should have the advantage.
Game of individual battles all around the ice as the coaching staff has emphasized. Aaron Best wins one off the draw and will drive out to center, chipping one past Davin Burton. Burton on his backhand is dispossessed by Nate Payne behind the net. 3 Sooners below the goal line will work it to Hunter Howe. Howe finds Glass behind the net. He'll elect for Nate Payne. Couldn't hang on to it, and Mondu can't keep it in the zone. 1:10 to go on the power play. 45 in the period. OU can carry this whole thing into period number 2 should they need to. Here's Payne walking in onside. He has some space to work with. He'll stop in the corner, put back to the point from Mondu. Stutter step, Cash Regan got into the play, and he'll try to squeeze past Ben Mondu with possession into the Oklahoma zone. Culbertson Bond comes out of his net to play it off the boards out to center, and it evades Tristan Glass. 20 seconds to go, and a time for one more rush for Oklahoma. Payne across. Here's Hunter Howe. He'll dump it in all the way around Doug Wakeland. He points Davin Burton in the right direction, as Aaron Best couldn't get in on the play. 4 seconds to go now in the period, and that's how things will end here in the first frame tonight at UCO. They lead it 2-0. Sooners will carry 23 seconds of power play time into the second, but as it stands, down by a pair to their arch rival, the Broncos.
And this is the exact same score that the Sooners went into their first intermission last night with. However, it feels a lot different. They weren't scored on right at the beginning, 40 seconds in, and they weren't scored on 40 seconds before the period ended. It seems like the Sooners came out with a different energy, and despite being down 2-0, it feels like a lot more optimism coming from the bench, coming from this team, that a comeback is possible. It is only 2-0, of course, so not an impossible hill to climb. The Sooners have had bigger comeback deficits before, but against a UCO team as good as this, they're going to need to pull out a lot and really come out hot, especially with that 23 seconds remaining on the power play.
Culbertson Bond will need more saves like that one as we head into the final 40 minutes of Division I play for Oklahoma. We'll be back at the tail end of the intermission here on OU Hockey TV. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Step right up. Buckle up. The only direction we're headed is... Yep, you get it. Welcome to the one and only Oklahoma.
In some ways, this film is like the university itself.
The one flagship university that has served the state since before there was a state.
Its story is never entirely completed.
Where one scoop of dirt can save thousands of lives. Where one group of biologists are connecting with world-class meteorologists to protect the one world, one planet that connects us all. Whoa, that one literally might land on the moon. But that's fine, because what's stopping us from going up there and getting it? This is a team, a squad, a family, leading a collective pursuit where we share all ideas, embrace thousands of different perspectives, and require every last hand on deck.
Cleared for takeoff.
What else we got? More trophies than you can count? Check. Rhodes Scholars? Check. Largest research engine in the state? Check. The next generation realizing a new American dream? Okay. Actually, it's better than okay. It's OKLAHOMA. It's the strength of many marching under one crimson and cream flag, creating Sooner magic that must be seen to be believed at the one university where one OU family makes up the one and only Oklahoma.
One more lap on cue for the Zamboni here at Arctic Edge Ice Arena. It's another capacity crowd tonight for the I-35 rivalry. And again, after one period, the Broncos lead 2-0 with a 16-7 shot on goal differential. Oklahoma will carry 23 seconds of power play time into the second. But, Amy, it's looking kind of bleak right now for Oklahoma after a repeat of last night, even if I think the Sooners looked better on all fronts in that period.
Exactly, and I think that is the one thing that can really help the Sooners tonight is how strong they've come out, and that, especially that second goal scored by UCO, while still a great goal, looked to be a little to the help of the puck dribbling around the net and a little bit of confusion from the Sooner defense, so they'll need to clean those things up, especially in front of BCB tonight. But it does still feel like there is a great chance. The energy feels a lot better. Like you said, it feels like the Sooners came out a lot stronger, but just unfortunately the same result going into the second period. And if the game's going to end any differently than it did last night, the Sooners have to score early on. They can't wait until the third, especially when you're facing a goal like Doug Wakeland.
Yeah, Wakeland has been stellar in all of his service throughout the year, but really against Oklahoma, it's just another ball game. He has been so good against these Sooners to the tune of, well, you know, a goals against average below 1 in a couple of seasons, and his service here for UCO is, hi, Willie. Get a look at one of the staff animals here for Oklahoma. 20 minutes back on the clock here for period number 2. We await the teams to come back on the ice. Extended delay was for Central Oklahoma's senior night festivities tonight.
Exactly, and a great reception from this home crowd for them, as always, losing a lot of extremely talented seniors who have done so much for their program, but they'll replenish it with a lot of young talent eager to step up and make an impact in the lineup. But as you said earlier before this game, I'm sure those Sooners will definitely not be missing those seniors who are leaving.
So as entry of the Gladiators plays them out, the referees come onto the ice, and the Sooners now welcomed back on. They'll be attacking, from left to right in this second period. Short change for both teams on the benches as Culbertson Bond returns to his crease, and the Sooner power play gets ready for another crack at it. They'll have, again, 23 seconds to try and put something together here against UCO.
And this will probably feel like the most important 23 seconds of the game for these Sooners. They need to make something happen right now. While they have the man advantage, UCO is an extremely strong team at even strength, and they still remain extremely strong when they're down a man, but that seems like the best opportunity to try and get something going for the Sooners to motivate them. And even if they do score right now, they'll still be down by 1, but you need to try to tilt that ice, get that momentum on your side if you want to have any chance at coming back tonight against UCO.
So Broncos back out on the ice. You can hear the reception that they get in the Bronco Barn, as they like to call it. PK unit leading everybody out for what also for them will be a pivotal 23 seconds of action. Wakeland will cut up the ice in his crease as Culbertson Bond does a lap.
And the Sooners remain confident in Culbertson Bond tonight. Again, despite it being the same goal differential that they went into the second period last night with the defense in front of BCB has looked a lot more solid, and BCB has made some incredible saves. Now it's just about getting the puck out of their own zone and trying to convert and make some chances for themselves.
So Sooners do win the drawback, and Howe is going to elect to try and carry this one into the zone directly across the blue line. They'll wind it in behind Wakeland now. 12 seconds to go on the power play. Kraus is the first one to the puck, but he can't clear it. And the Sooners have a few seconds to set up here. Can't force the turnover they need, though. And UCO will come back to even strength here before Oklahoma can get anything started. Howe surveying will wrap it around Wakeland. Sooners have numbers here behind the UCO netminder. Turned over to Sinclair. Sharping a shot. Rebound is there! And once again, stoned is Carson Glass by the netminder, Wakeland.
And that felt like a really quick 23 seconds. The Sooners not able to get much on there. But at the end, a great opportunity from Carson Glass. And we saw that last weekend against Utah after another failed conversion on the power play. The Sooners were able to score quickly after. So the Sooners are going to try to hope to carry that momentum to score right now.
ACHA off the draw was able to win possession. Taylor turns along the boards. Davison adding support with Mondu in a 2-on-2 fight for possession. In the far corner from us here, 19:11 to go, as the Sooners have held possession for the majority of this opening minute. And as we speak, UCO will break back out of the zone. Here comes J.C. Dubecki across center ice and a cross-corner dump in. High into the air past Swearingen. Puck evades everybody here for Oklahoma. Swearingen blew a tire back behind his own net and plays it off the boards. Taylor keeps it onside. Another cross-corner dump here away from everybody. Skate racing, another battle along the boards for possession. Dubecki again holding it onside. His shot tipped high of Culbertson Bond. You couldn't see it. And Bassett will chase this one down away from Carter ACHA. Throws a hit into the Bronco. And now Davison puts it back out to center. Taylor will gather this one up and come near side for Dubecki. Mikhailov again dumps it all the way in. Bronco's going to go for a full unit change here. All 5 players getting off the ice. Wrapped around for Swearingen and evades him. Turned over now to Sykes. A shot out in front. Rebound is there. And Culbertson Bond couldn't hang on. They score on the last opportunity. And it's a 3-0 advantage.
It was difficult from our perspective to see the puck. It seemed like BCB had it, but took an unfortunate bounce or through the legs. And Blaha gets the Broncos, notches them another score. They continue to remain on top. And if you're the Sooners, you need to stop the bleeding soon to remain in it while the score is still somewhat close.
And so the chanting starts again here at Arctic Edge. Baird will try to win possession deep in his own zone. Broncos play it back out. Here's a shot that Culbertson Bond will snare. And now things getting physical in front of him as Blaha got a bit closer than any of the Sooners would have liked.
Yeah, the Sooners right now, again, we're seeing that frustration. And while it's completely understandable, they need to try to keep it to a minimum. We saw what happened last time. UCO went up to the power play, and now that they're leading 3-0, you can't really allow for any more penalties to come to you at all. Otherwise, it'll increase this lead and make this deficit harder to come back from.
Since the Sooners were on the power play, they've given up 11 straight shots on goal late in the first period, leading to 2 of these Bronco goals. 17-7 the total as UCO leads at 3-0. Wakeland will play it behind his own net. Has to get it around, and Cavalcanti took a chop at Wakeland trying to break the puck free as he played it. And I don't think anybody in white likes that here tonight.
No, a little bit of pushing and shoving from everyone. Glass getting into it with one of the Broncos. Cash Regan, and some extended pushing and shoving despite the whistle being blown. I'm not sure if we're going to have any penalties here, but we'll find out soon enough as the refs seem to be lecturing players on both teams. And it does not look like anyone will be in the penalty box, but I'd say they're probably all issued a fair warning by the refs to cut it out, essentially.
So no discipline handed out here as off the draw, Burton with speed exits the zone. This is where UCO is dangerous. They'll have a 2-on-1. They'll walk in, and Culbertson Bond sends that puck high. Two players crash into the boards behind the play. And one of them still down. It's a UCO forward, and we're going to stop play here to check on their condition.
Yeah, he's only moved a little bit, and we hope he's okay. And it looks like the medical staff from UCO will head out on ice to check on their player. I believe Robbie Rebroker, and he's getting up much to the applause of this crowd. As long as the Sooner players, while they may be fierce rivals, of course, you never want to see someone on either side of the ice get injured. As Nate Payne escorts Anita Clark, head of the UCO medical staff, over to their bench, probably to aid in some additional care.
So Anita Clark will check on what looks to be the left arm or wrist of Robbie Rebroker, and of course our best wishes in the booth here are with him. We hope to see him return here tonight. 17 minutes, 18 seconds to go here in period number 2 as things are reset outside Oklahoma territory. It'll be Glass and Hogan on for the faceoff. Broncos won it forward, but Oklahoma steals possession. Here's Hunter Howe looking for Glass. Cavalcanti able to drop it for him, and now a 2-on-2 rush down the wing. Glass's shot was deflected and never found anything, and bounces off the glass. Oklahoma turns him over in the zone again. Here's Glass, couldn't handle it, and St. Clair will break in behind Doug Wakeland. Leaves it along the wall. Funny hop that was taken by the puck. Howe will jump in and keep it onside for Oklahoma. Krause is in, double teamed by a couple of bodies in gray. Demanchuk puts it out in front, and Andrew Lowe couldn't get a clean shot away. Sooner forecheck starting to buzz a little bit here. 16:38 to go as UCO still can't quite get it out of the zone. Carson Glass will drive in further. Low couldn't get it across the line, and now Oklahoma touches up offside at 16:30, and Lowe takes a shove into his own bench.
Yeah, against St. Clair. Again, starting to see this frustration bleed out, but this is exactly what the Sooners need right now to keep it in their own zone and pepper some of these shots on net. You feel like at some point, a little bit of puck luck maybe. Sooner magic has to go their way and help them out. They have a bunch of incredible shots on the Sooner team. You have a feeling that one's going to have to go in eventually if they keep it in the UCO zone.
We've talked about puck luck in this building to an extent for Oklahoma, and if there was any time for it to rear its head, tonight would be the night as Demanchuk tried to whip one into the zone. It caught the netting, and we're going to reset things back at center. Looks like a new hockey puck has been procured from one of the benches, and we'll start things back up here. Demanchuk will swing it into the zone and chase after Dubeku, who plays it forward for Adam Stalzer. Back into the slot now. It plays off the foot of Mikhailov and back in onside. Sinclair couldn't handle a pass, and Barone chases it back in. OU has numbers here as Stalzer breaks in on the forecheck. Stalzer went down, took a heavy hit behind the play from Goldstein, and now Dubecky winds and shoots one. Great block from Carson Glass. Went down to one knee to make it happen, and the Sooners play it back out to center. Here's Barone with time and space. He'll survey, play it off the boards, looking for Sinclair, and this will be icing and evaded everything, and the puck will come back into OU territory.
And I talked a bit earlier about Carson Glass, and you said he would be their Selke adjacent potentially nominee for this team. But right there, another display of how incredible and vital he is to this team. A great block to help out BCB in front. Potentially help turn the tables for the Sooners right now, down 3-0.
So we'll get things back underway in UCO territory, and Culbertson Bond, a screen shot from Guerra, nearly beat him. It dribbles into the corner and worked back out into the slot. Here's Cameron Williams, the freshman defenseman, forwarding it back in for Guerra. He'll leave it for Blaha. And he'll play back behind Culbertson Bond. Guerra again surveying, dog from behind by Carson Glass. Nice play from the freshman as Goldstein, who will bring in some more support. Blaha evading everything. Took a bit of a hold from Goldstein there and gets it back up top for Williams. Williams off the boards. A bouncing puck comes back behind the net for Guerra. Guerra out in front for Blaha. It evaded everything. And now Sinclair couldn't get his stick on it. In that blind spot in the far corner now, it comes across to Davin Burton in from his defensive spot. He'll wind it behind the net. Carson Glass lifts the stick of Sam Sykes and turns over the WCHL's leading scorer. Takes a hit to make the play as Oklahoma got it to the blue line but not out of the zone, and UCO still threatening onside. Barone winding this one around for Sinclair. Regan takes it at the point. His shot screened in front. Puck is still loose and pops into the air. Demanchuk, soccer style to himself, plays it off the wall, and a tired Brendan Sinclair couldn't get there. He has to get off for a change. Best will replace him as Goldstein throws a hit into Dusay. Here's a 2-on-1 opportunity, too far for Robbie Rebroker. Puck into the netting after a deflection, and Oklahoma's going to have to catch their breath.
Yeah, nice to see Robbie Rebroker of UCO back on ice after slamming into the boards a little bit earlier, but a dangerous chance for the Sooners off of the change, a little bit caught off guard there, and they're going to need to make sure that they are in the right place at the right time as to not leave Culbertson Bond too vulnerable in the net. But a whiff there from Rebroker saves the Sooners a little bit.
So Regan tries to play it forward off the draw. Two Sooners collapse on the puck. Nobody could find it, and going down in front of the play was Dusay. He'll find possession and try to bring it out in front of Culbertson Bond. Rap chance wasn't there, and Tristan Davison plays it all the way around for Best. Best on his forehand, got it out to center. Kraus had his pass deflected, and Davison works it to Mondo. He's got Best breaking in towards the net. Plays into the corner for him. Best played it out to center, couldn't find anybody. Now Davidson can't push the turnover. 3-on-2, breaking out here for Regan. He'll play it off the boards, and things slow down in OU territory. Here's Connor Horn. He finds Tristan Davison. Best starting his engine, played off the boards, but at an acute angle, he couldn't find it. Howe again played it on the backhand. Couldn't find anybody, and Cash Regan gains the zone once again. He's got St. Clair breaking it, and that goes out in front for him, and Howe broke up the pass opportunity. UCO in the midst of a change here, holding on to possession as Mondu applies pressure to St. Clair. Horn in with support now. UCO another 2-on-2 fight in the corner for possession. St. Clair comes away with it, and the freshman plays it off the boards to himself. He'll wind it all the way across. A one-time opportunity wouldn't go. Back up top again. Here's Jack Taylor. Taylor will survey. Play it to the backhand for St. Clair. Wrapping around for Connor Horn. Horn pinned to the boards, comes out into the bumper spot where it's played again. UCO still holding on to it. A tip shot out in front. Culbertson Bond melts that one down and gets the Sooners a breather.
Exactly, and that was definitely the biggest save that BCB has had to make in these recent minutes. Great job by the Sooners in front for the most part to break up some of these chances. But from the blue line, UCO gets a shot off that saved by BCB, and the Sooners are going to want to clear it out and get back into their own zone as the shot on goal total ticks up to 23-8 in favor of the Broncos.
So here's Mikhailova's shot that was saved by Culbertson Bond. Rebound is loose out in front, and Will Blake plays it off the wall, turned over again. Here's Stalzer walking in, has Mikhailov breaking free, and tries to play it out in front. Culbertson Bond says no, and he'll play it into the corner. Whipping opportunity out in front is fanned on by Stalzer. Declan Martin leading the charge now. He'll play it off the boards. William Blake back behind the net. He'll play it back to the point, had it interrupted. Swearingen back to the play, tries to keep it in the zone, and it comes back out to center for Carson Bassett. Declan Martin playing it back in towards Doug Wakeland. He comes out the net to leave this one behind his own net. J.C. Dubecki, a pass evades. Taylor evades everything. No icing here. And Carter Eha is going to win a skate race into the zone either way. Drop for Blaha. It was right in his wheelhouse. And now Tristan Glass takes down Mikhailov. Glass's pass bounces off of Carter Eha. He'll play it far side for Blaha. Blaha walks in, has Guerra breaking towards the net. Gets it to him, and Culbertson Bond makes a great save in deep. Sooners just surviving as it stands right now. Glass walking in, couldn't get the puck to his forehand. Andrew Lowe goes down behind the play, and another odd man rush breaking out. Here's Sykes dropping it, couldn't get it back to him as Tristan Glass, the only Sooner back, or excuse me, Swearingen that was, able to break the play up. Pass back out to the blue line. Williams' shot is deflected by Lowe. He couldn't keep possession, and Cavalcanti is the last one back, adding pressure. Sooners get a partial line change here as Doucet wins a skate race to the puck. He'll leave it for Zach Guerra. He eyes Davin Burton, gets it to him back at the blue line. Burton interrupted by Andrew Lowe. He plays it off the wall and it ended up going in and out of the penalty box. We'll reset play here at 10:46.
And it looks like Cavalcanti getting into it there at the end of this play with Burton a little bit. But now that we're at 10:46 left in the second period, a little over halfway through the game, it's starting to feel like now or never. A little bit of desperation is needed from these Sooners to try to get something started if they want to have a chance at making a comeback. Spending a little too much time playing defense right now.
So Culbertson Bond will make another quick save off of the draw. Here's a look at what happened last in Oklahoma territory before the most recent stoppage in play. It was another cross-crease pass, and Broncos just seemed to find the open ice. Guerra breaking free to the net, and on his backhand, BCB makes a key save that keeps the deficit at 3. .10:41 to go as puck is dropped here. We're nearly halfway through regulation time. And puck's played it back out to neutral ice. Here's Burton. He'll gain the zone offside and put a puck on net. Sooners don't like that, and we'll share some words with Davin Burton.
Yeah, that offsides might have saved the Sooners a little bit there. This UCO team just always comes out hot against the face-off when they're in the Sooner zone. They're normally able to get a shot off quite quickly. So the offsides was definitely welcomed by the Sooners.
Certainly was, as UCO is just so good in transition and in and out of the breaks. As they'll play it into the zone. Here's Rebroker trying to work it around the net. He'll get it to Doucet. Centering pass out in front was interrupted by Sinclair. William Baird on his horse, not going to win this race. As Doug Wakeland comes out of this net, he'll backskate and pass it off for Rebroker. He'll gain center ice. He has Regan on the far side. Regan will gain the zone. He'll lend one out in front. That was deflected way up and out of play. Rebroker gets a shot from Connor Horn, and officials will break another one up.
We are once again seeing the pace of this game vary. Stop and go with 10 minutes left in the second period.
So exactly halfway through, Sooners are going to need to three-piece the Broncos in return here in the latter half of this game if they want to make a convincing case this weekend for themselves in the national tournament conversation. Puck is dropped, and St. Clair wraps it around Oklahoma's net. Culbertson Bond watches this one go by. And Oklahoma will regain possession. Here's William Blake working it up for Demanchuk. Demanchuk forwards it into the zone. Artem Shura interrupted by Nate Payne as he tried to gain possession back, and Demanchuk couldn't forward it back out to the point. Sooners trying to work things as high as they can in the zone, and finally Golston gets it. Here's Blake working it into the slot, but Demanchuk was tied up, couldn't get a shot away, and Jake Barone can't hold it in the zone. Here's a 2-on-2 breaking out for Central Oklahoma. Hogan gains the zone, plays it off the wall. I'll leave it behind the net for a teammate. Wrap opportunity is there. Two Sooners collapse on it, and it comes all the way back out to center. No one's available to play it. And a bouncing puck is interrupted by Payne. He'll wind it in here. Wakeland out to play it past Andrew Lowe. 8:55 to go now as the Broncos slow things down. Taylor lets his teammates get a line change here. Sooners in front of Wakeland exchanging words with Logan Cavalcanti. Cavalcanti gives his pads a whack with the stick now. UCO finally breaks out. Stalzer will chip it in past the blue line, and Culbertson Bond melts this one down before anything can get started.
Some continued pushing and shoving between these two teams as we see all three refs, or the ref and the linesman, excuse me, getting involved there. But once again, no calls. Seems like you mentioned in the pregame, the officials want to make sure they have some control over this game. But the Sooners are also going to want to try to remember to maintain that control, not want to go down a man again, as those power plays from UCO have bit them quite a few times over this weekend.
All smiles on the officiating crew for now, as we'll reset things in Oklahoma territory. Culbertson Bond watches the draw to his right. It's one back out to neutral ice, and the Broncos tag up. Behind his own net, Goldstein plays it this way for Best. Sooners hemmed in again with two players below the goal line, as Best worked it out for Mondu. Here's Best once again trying to break free. He gets it into Bronco territory, and Jack Taylor will wind it all the way around. Here's Iha, stops the puck up and deposits it back out to neutral ice. Stalzer on his horse, chasing after Connor Horn, wrapped into the boards, and he takes a tumble. Horn still on his feet, will guard that far corner. Taylor working. Dubecki calls for the puck, gets a pass, and deposits it back behind BCB, and the puck came out through the blue paint after a funny hop, and Oklahoma survives. They'll put it back out to center. Forwards get a line change here. Mondu will drive in to continue the forecheck as Baird and Sinclair join him out front. Played into the netting by Mikhailov. That'll stop things. 7:31 to go, and Oklahoma can once again catch their breath out in neutral ice.
Exactly. Still, mostly the puck is in favor of this UCO team right now. The Sooners have not got a shot on goal in quite a while, and as the time ticks down, you have to think that they're watching the clock a little bit. The anticipation is building. Something needs to happen sooner rather than later to get a chance at making the comeback.
So Sykes behind the net, looked for a wrap opportunity as Culbertson Bond went down to one knee, and now works back up top. Puck is loose in front of the Sooner netminder. Carson Glass cleans this one up, plays it out towards the point, pawed down legally by UCO, and Blaha will work his way back in. Blake Swearingen plays it off the board. Sinclair up top for Burton. Burton walks on his backhand, lets one go. Culbertson Bond able to handle that one.
Yeah, quick shot, but BCB able to cover it quite quickly there by Blaha. Another one of the extremely talented UCO players who's made his mark on this series. And the Sooners are going to want to keep him as far away from the net and keep his chances as limited as possible.
Shot in, Culbertson Bond to flex it away, but the puck is still live behind the net. And Doucet will play it out in front, looking for Regan. Couldn't tap it home on the back door. He'll play it out for Davin Burton. His shot, looking for a tip, none provided. Goldstein winds it around back out towards center ice. Held in the zone. Here's Burton's shot. No tip there either, as Goldstein couldn't get it to his stick. Looking for Will Blake. He couldn't get it to his tape, and it plays all the way into UCO territory. No icing here. William Blake couldn't win a skate race, however, and UCO will take possession back. Nate Payne applying pressure on the forecheck, tipped off of Cavalcanti, but the puck just magnetic towards UCO tape tonight. Will come back out towards Culbertson Bond. He makes a nice save and deflects it back out towards center ice. Here's Cavalcanti. He's got some space at the blue line. He'll stop up as Nate Payne. He'll gain the zone, shoot one wide of Doug Wakeland. And now UCO with speed back out to center. Here's Rebroker. He'll drop it for Doucet. Doucet spinning, tried to center it out in front. No one home, and he goes down behind the play. A bouncing puck out to center ice. Here's Andrew Lowe. He paws it down, looking for Cavalcanti. Drops it to him, give and go play. And he'll shoot one on net. Rebound bouncing around. It's cleaned up. And back out to center. Here are the Broncos driving their way into the zone. Connor Horn is able to interrupt the play. St. Clair with possession, drops to the ground and gets back up. Hogan wraps it to Kraus. Kraus shoots one tipped in front and wrap past Culbertson Bond. Hogan again gets it back towards the point where Andrew Lowe intercepts, takes possession, and will wind it into the opposite corner. Sooners need to change here as Best will come back out onto the ice along with Tristan Davison. A high pass out to center ice, bouncing puck. No one can get possession of this one yet as Mondu plays it soccer style to himself. Hogan dispossesses him and wraps it all the way back in. Swearingen, a big hit right in front of the Sooner netminder. UCO has possession, and they're going to get a power play out of this. I think Swearingen just took a penalty for interference, rather, on that play.
Yep, and the door will open for the Sooner penalty box. Assistant Captain Blake Swearingen.
So it's a high stick is the call, rather.
A very important 2 minutes for the Sooners right now. Not the situation they want to be in. With 4:49 remaining in this second period. Down 3-0. Down by 19 shots against UCO, 28-9. They're going to want to channel some of the UCO power play in this and hope to get some odd man rushes on here to get themselves on the board. But the focus, rather, I guess, should be keeping UCO off the board. You do not want this lead to expand and end 4-0 in the second period like we did last night.
I've seen crazy things happen when 28-9 were on the scoreboard as UCO again putting possession in their own hands in the offensive zone. Regan plays it all the way across. Mikhailov will wrap this one in deep for Davin Burton. He plays it up top for Cash Regan again. Regan all the way across. Mikhailov will survey from the blue line, held onside by Burton. And inside, Iha shot. Rebound is there. Culbertson Bond tries to cover, and they score. Mikhailov has extended the lead again. And one of these Sooner killers has put up the Broncos 4-0 with 4:18 to go in the period.
Yeah, unfortunately, very quickly done there by UCO, the Broncos. Mikhailov, one of those seniors graduating this year that this roster will very much miss, and that right there is why. An incredible impact tonight. And he actually proposed to his girlfriend during the senior night festivities, so I'm sure his fiance in the audience is very happy to see that one.
So off the draw, Sooners win it back. It was at this score last night when Culbertson Bond left his net for Trey Ananazio, so we'll keep an eye on the Sooner bench and see if they make any changes to the lineup moving forwards here tonight. Mondu couldn't play it forward at center ice as Guerra plays it in forwards. Davison is a big hit played by Barone. He's going to go to the box. He took down Zach Guerra. It's going to be another high stick.
And it looks like Davison and Blaha getting into it. Blaha not happy with the hit on this player, and this is just an unfortunate turn of events for the Sooners as Barone heads to the box. Just adding fuel to UCO's fire. And it looks like Best is escorting teammates Davison and Mondu to the bench as hopes of not adding any more to that penalty. And one of the linesmen, or refs, excuse me, talking to Blaha, trying to probably get him to keep his cool as well.
Got to speak with Aaron Best a little bit after last night's game, and he said this is a beatable UCO team, but a young Sooner team that is maybe tripping over their mistakes sometimes right now. And good things to come, but a mountain to climb tonight if they want to make it happen on this evening. Will Baird and Nate Payne, the forwards, on this penalty kill. Broncos struck within about 30 seconds on their last opportunity. Dubecki holds it in onside at the line. He'll plug it across for Guerra. Guerra to Sykes, and now Dubecki again. He'll hold it onside and play it in deep behind Culbertson Bond. Hunter Howe got his stick on the puck and wraps it all the way around the boards and out, so Oklahoma can kill some time here until Barone's back out on the ice. 3:11 left here in the second as Blaha will gain the zone. Played it off the boards, took a weird hop, and Dubecki back out to center. plays it where Aaron Best wraps it in. Mondu trying to add an attack here, short-handed and not able to gain possession. He'll start his engine back towards defensive ice as Dubecki gains the zone and plays it behind BCB. Held up top by Mikhailov with a goal a few moments ago. He'll hang on to it at the point. He'll play it in. Swearingen staples Guerra to the boards, and now up top Mikhailov again. Tally Mikhailov for Regan. His shot off the mask of Culbertson Bond. It's still out loose. Culbertson Bond is down, and the whistle is blown. The Sooners will survive this round.
And it felt like time almost passed in slow motion there, watching the puck pop up right in front of Culbertson Bond, but able to dive on top of it and keep it out of the net to help his team somewhat stay in it a little bit, but he's going to need his offense to come through for him and start producing.
Sooner goalie seems to be all right after the contact in front of him, and he'll talk it over with our head official here tonight. Whistle is blown, and we're ready to get back underway. 2:29 to go in the second period. Just under 23 minutes left here for the Sooners to try to put an explosion of offense together against a team that has just stoned them defensively all season long. Mikhailov will gain possession here and dump it into the corner where Carter Eha surveys his options. He'll go behind Culbertson Bond, a give-and-go play. Wraps up top for Mikhailov again. Tally Mikhailov will put back up top, Davin Burton. And now, once again, Mikhailov. He'll shoot one that was blocked out in front. Never found anybody, and Nate Payne will wind it all the way back down the ice. 1 second left on the power play. Perone back out on the ice. He'll trade spots with Cavalcanti, and the Sooners will get their forward line of Glass, Cavalcanti, and Lowe back on the ice. Seen Andrew Lowe getting into the play a lot tonight. He's been impactful. He's been on the puck as Cash Regan runs into the official here. The Sooners may have been gifted a little bit of puck luck there as Tristan Glass spins along the boards. He couldn't gain possession, and now Hunter Howe plays it for Cavalcanti. Cavalcanti back out to center. Here's Lowe again, drops it for Tristan Glass. He couldn't get it where he needed onto his tape, and once again, UCO just dumps it out to center. St. Clair evades a hit from Lowe, and a high shot is snagged by Culbertson Bond.
Yeah, some quick reflexes there from Culbertson Bond. Like you said, the Sooners not quite able to get it fully out of their own zone when it looks like they might have a chance at some good opportunities. But this UCO team on all sides playing extremely completely, and very few things haven't gone their way tonight or for this weekend.
So back out to the point. Here's Krause. It'll skip over his stick. Aaron Best gets it out to center, and the Sooners can relax in the defensive zone for the moment. 1 minute to go here in period number 2. Sooners just able to get 2 shots on goal here in the opening 19 minutes. Here's Hogan. He'll work it into UCO territory. Tried to center it out in front for Krause. Nobody home. And back out to the point now. Eha faked a shot. It comes down in the bumper spot for Aaron Best. Best lost control of St. Clair, and it's played off the boards where Will Blake gives chase. Sure lost his footing, and now a 2-on-1 for the Sooners. Here's Mondu. Mondu walking across, and they score! Aaron Best has cut to the lead, and the Sooners have life late in the second period.
And this is a great way to capitalize on an opportunity from these Sooners. Across from Mondu to Aaron Best. We've been saying his name a lot tonight, and that is why finally able to get that impact onto the score sheet. While they still have a 3-goal deficit, like I said earlier, they needed to score in this second period to have a chance at all in the third. And this goal will definitely help them, maybe help the momentum switch with 30 seconds remaining.
So 21 seconds left as Tristan Glass chases this one into the zone. Here's Cavalcanti. He'll play it back up top. He'll wind it into the slot. His pass was blocked, and Sykes out to center. 11 seconds to go. Sam Sykes, 2-on-1, breaking. He'll shoot one, and Culbertson Bond played it off his pad. Net came off the moorings. I think there's time to fix it. No, with 5 seconds left, we're going to stop things. I think the puck went out of play.
A dangerous chance there for UCO, and that's why you can never rest with this team. They got scored on, and immediately, despite having the 3-goal lead, they wanted one more. They wanted to bring that deficit back up to 4 again. BCB doing an incredible job to blocker that shot off the net. And with 5 seconds remaining, the Sooners have to be completely tuned in right now to prevent that score from changing at all in the remainder of the second period.
5 seconds to go here, and UCO tried to win it forward. Goldstein plays it off the glass, 2 seconds and 1, and that is how period number 2 comes to a close. We're going to have more extracurriculars behind the play. Goldstein letting the Broncos know what he thinks of that. And it looks like things will settle down at a simmer for now. 4-1 UCO as we head to the break. Oklahoma trying to mount a comeback in a crucial moment for their national tournament hopes. Welcome back to Arctic Edge Ice Arena. You didn't see during the break, you can scan the QR code back on your screen now for your tickets to Bedlam on Ice, as low as $15. I won't make the reference tonight, but it'll be a celebration of the season for both programs. Oklahoma State back on the ice after many years off of it, a student-led organization, just like the Sooners, a grassroots effort to get hockey on in the Sooners state. We hope you love it just as much as we do. We'll be here on OU Hockey TV at 3 p.m. with a special edition of Hockey Time in Oklahoma before puck drop. Celebrate this spring semester and all the fun we've had in the booth here for Oklahoma hockey. 45 seconds to go before the third period, and the Sooners got a little bit of momentum back, but honestly, that felt like they didn't play as good as they did in the first period, and, they got a little bit of puck luck there to get that goal late in the period, I think.
Exactly. You took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say that second period almost showed flashes of how they played last night, which is definitely not the direction they want to be going in as this game gets going into this third period. But a beautiful pass from Mondu to our goal scorer, whose name is slipping me right now. Aaron Best with the gorgeous shot on goal there to get one up for the Sooners. However, they're going to need a lot more than that. Down 3 goals right now, 4-1. And the shots on goal really tells the full story of this game. The Sooners have done a great job when able to keep UCO out of their zone, but that has been limited, not able to keep them away from the puck. And when that UCO team shoots, it's a likelihood that they'll probably score right now as that team comes back onto the ice. And the fans cheer them on, hoping to see another dominant win from them tonight, but the Sooners are going to try to stop that. It looks like we'll see Blake, Horn, Mondu, Hunter Howe, and I believe Brendan Sinclair. Oh, no, Aaron Best.
So another shuffling of the lines for the Sooner coaching staff. 20 more minutes on the clock, and the Sooners are going to try to have their most impressive period of the season, frankly, when they need it the most. Here's Stalzer playing it off the boards. It's flipped out to center ice where William Blake gives chase and spun back into OU territory. Took a hit up high. I think it was Stalzer. He's still all right up on his feet after contact with the puck. Aaron Best will slap one back out to center. Horn plays it all the way across for Hunter Howe, and the Twin H powered Oklahoma defense puts it back out to center. Here's Mondu chasing after it. It was dumped back in, and Sam Sykes will force a turnover in deep. Here's Blaha, takes a hit from his physical matching Connor Horn, rather, and Kraus will try to center it out in front for Guerra. Blaha back behind the net again. He'll try to flip it back over. Nothing doing there. And now he'll find Sykes. Sykes flipping one on goal. A weak shot that Culbertson Bond pokes at, and Cavalcanti gets it across for Connor Horn. Andrew Lowe deposits it back out to center. Here's Sykes turning into the offensive zone. He'll look head up and try to fire one on the back door. Nobody was home as he looked for a tip. Puck still loose out in the slot, soccer style by Guerra. He'll try to get to his forehand. Now he'll fire one, and Culbertson Bond swallows that.
And Culbertson Bond back in net for the Sooners in this third period last night, replaced by junior Trey Adanazio, but the coaching staff seems to have the confidence in him, understandably, as they should, to come back in here tonight. Probably feel he might be their best chance, especially if the Sooners can get on the surge soon and score some goals of their own to bring this closer.
So here's Goldstein. He'll play it back up to the point. Couldn't get it out of the zone. Williams put a shot on, and Cameron Williams' shot is deflected away by BCB. Puck into the netting again, and we'll try things again.
It looks like that puck flew out by many of the team photographers and equipment staff, but no one was hurt, and a fan gets to take home a lucky souvenir. Head trainer Anita Clark looking at one of the fans that might have grazed him on the arm, but he seems just fine and happy to have a souvenir to take home with him.
Doucet shot wide of the net, and Burton will fight off Andrew Lowe in the corner. He'll try to center it back out in front. Puck is loose. Backhand try. Culbertson Bond says no, and the Sooners survive another attack from UCO. A broker back behind the net again, and it's put back out in front. Puck is in the slot. Lowe will clean this one up, and he'll look for Cavalcanti. He chipped it out forward. This will be icing, and Oklahoma is going to have to catch their breath for as long as they can during this short timeout.
And it looked like, well, that was a great save by Culbertson Bond. It looked like Goldstein stepped in there in front of them to kind of help with that rebound, get rid of another potentially dangerous chance for UCO, and keep this at a 3-goal deficit. But the Sooners are going to need to get this out of their own zone right now. They need to score goals, especially to impress the ACHA and their computer programs for national rankings and a chance to join the tournament.
So Williams fighting for the puck at the blue line. It's deposited back out by Cavalcanti. He has a hard time getting to the bench in front of us, and it's wrapped into BCB. Baird plays it back to the point. Williams again deposited out in front, and Culbertson Bond off of his post will take a shot from St. Clair and deposit it in the corner. Hogan is there. He takes down his man, and Andrew Lowe, and back out of the point for Burton. Burton shot, scores! 5-1 UCO on their 41st shot of the game.
And this is exactly where we left off last night. Unfortunate for the Sooners, Carson Bassett giving his netminder a tap on the pads. And this is exactly what happens when you can't keep UCO out of their own zone. Eventually, they're going to find a way. And a beautiful shot from the Bronco logo by number 27, Davin Burton.
So after Burton's goal, it's another 5-piece by the Broncos, averaging about 4.5 against Oklahoma these past 2 seasons. Sooners held them to 2 goals during regulation time in the final game of the season last year. Not going to happen tonight, and now looking for a magical finish in Edmond if they're to salvage a win out of this one. 16:58 to go, and the only offense tonight provided by newcomer Aaron Best. His many points in his debut semester here. He came on in January against Missouri State. Scored a game winner in his first game in the Crimson and Cream as Swearingen will chase a puck into the zone. This is icing at 16:42.
And with a little under 17 minutes left, you'd think there's definitely still a chance for the Sooners to come back. 4 goals is quite a hefty amount to come by, but they've done it once against Alabama. But then again, this is no Alabama team that they're facing. You'd think right now, though, the Sooners' mind would be on damage control and trying to limit that deficit, with their hopes still being on making the national tournament. And computer rankings, lowering that would definitely give them a little bit of an edge if they can't pull out the win tonight.
So we'll keep our eyes on the differential and the other bubble teams' result around the league tonight. We did see that Rhode Island, despite leading early on, did fall to the University of Pittsburgh. The Panthers took that one in overtime to complete the weekend sweep, as a 3-on-3 battle for the puck on the far board still won't come loose, and now the Sooners will put it out into the slot. 2 Broncos to go to clean it up. It's Iha circling back behind Doug Wakeland. Demanchuk is taken down in front. No call given here for Oklahoma as Glass will try to apply pressure. Puck is out of play and into the netting.
And even that opportunity for the Sooners not able to get really set, get in position, get any shots off at all, down by 31. And the shots on goal counter 10 to UCO's 41. It's definitely something that they're going to want to improve on a lot closer yesterday. And even though this game, especially throughout that first period, felt a lot more like it was tilted in the Sooners' favor, that shot on goal counter definitely tells a different story. As ACHA and Mondu are separated by one of the linesmen.
Seems like Mondu has always been the target of other teams' enforcers, to put it lightly, throughout the latter part of this season. Center forward been staying out of the box. To his credit, his off-the-draw Goldstein shot is snagged by Wakeland.
And it's understandable. Mondu, one of the incredible young freshman talents on this OU lineup. He's a real game changer, really makes an impact, and it's understandable why other teams want to try to bat him down a little bit when he seems to get hot.
So off the draw, Oklahoma shot goes wide. Goldstein will wind it back in deep. Here's Davison. He'll try to get his stick on the puck, couldn't do it. And Aaron Best wins a skate race. Davison chasing. Guerra will stutter step and put it back out to center. Mondu tried to pass to Barone. It's out of reach of Jake Barone, and he'll turn away behind his own net and play it up for Best. Barone still tied up, taken down, and the Sooners are going to get a power play here. Best trying to get the stick to his puck, and now it's swatted into who else? Mondu's back by Cooper Kraus. 15-13 to go, and the Sooners will get a crucial man advantage here if they want to cut into this.
Exactly, an extremely important opportunity right now. Get to work, and it looks like Sykes will be heading to the box for UCO. An essential player on this lineup that I'm sure the Sooners will not miss for this upcoming 2 minutes. Really have an opportunity to lessen that goal differential and potentially make the bid for a comeback.
So Payne off the draw will walk this one. He'll wrap it all the way around for Best. It skips over his stick to Hunter Howe, and Howe will wind it in deep for Best. Somebody went down behind the play there. Aaron Best chasing after the puck will forward it around for Payne. Payne soccer style in deep. Mondu couldn't keep it in the zone, and UCO will break back out. Puck played behind BCB. 14:44 to go in regulation time here. $1:29 on the power play. Payne goes across from Mondu. Mondu will cross center ice and chip it in deep. Nate Payne giving chase as Wakeland. Plays it behind his own net. Plays it on the forehand. Mondu got it to Payne. He's got some space behind the net. Takes his time with it, and he'll wind it up for Howe. Howe fakes the shot. Goes this way for Best. Now Mondu. Mondu a shot gloved by Wakeland.
Yeah, good shot there. Good opportunity for Mondu and these Sooners, but unfortunately not enough on that one to get past such a solid goaltender like Wakeland. Took the Sooners a little bit to get that set up. And unfortunately, they're going to need to set up these shots and get these chances, pepper that goaltender a lot more if they can come back from this 4-goal deficit.
So Blake along the ice plays it up for Barone. Barone couldn't keep it in, and now the Broncos break back out to center ice. Here's St. Clair leading the charge. Bassett throws a hit into him and goes down. William Blake will deposit it behind the net for Jake Barone. 13:58 to go as Barone starts the rush this way onto the stick of William Blake. Blake tried to get it in deep. It was deflected by Shura, and Davison stick lift and gets it back to Will Blake. Blake circles it around, centering pass, nobody home, and Davison keeps it onside. Davison gets a pass back from Blake. He'll drop it for Andrew Lowe. Lowe again in deep is interrupted, and the puck is cycled all the way around for Bassett. Carson Bassett puts it out for Barone. Barone circles and across the zone for Andrew Lowe. Andrew Lowe walking this way for Barone again. Barone shoots one, tipped and off the shoulder of Wakeland and out of play.
And the frustration on Tristan Davison right now. Thought they had a good opportunity there, but unfortunately just blocked away in the middle of the ice. A great shot from near the blue line and that Broncos logo on the ice. Fortunately, nothing there. With 8 seconds remaining on this power play.
So Sooners off the draw. Howe will control and walk the line. He'll play it in deep past Demanchuk. It wraps around for Sinclair, who had the goal last night. Demanchuk will play it in deep here. Broncos back at full strength as a shot from the point is blocked in front. Demanchuk winding, couldn't get one away. And Sam Sykes breaks out to center. He's got Guerra across the line. They're onside. And Connor Horn couldn't get it away. Guerra into the boards. He looks to be okay. And the puck out of play. Took a scary angle into the boards there. Good to see him get back up at 12:54.
Yeah, and staying on the ice, like you said, a little bit of a scary hit, but luckily just down to one knee for a second and right back up.
Carson Glatz will take the draw, flanked by Sinclair and Connor Horn. And Sinclair plays it across the boards. He'll chip it off and try to get it out of the zone. Couldn't do it. Dubecki shot tipped and into the netting. Sooners have got to try something different than playing it around the boards because the Broncos are just so excellent at stealing the puck off there at the blue line, not letting you get out of your zone.
Exactly, yeah, just when it looks like the Sooners might have an opportunity, especially when they want to switch off, get some fresh legs. Like you said, UCO able to do an incredible job at keeping it in the zone, not giving the Sooners much chance for a rest or a breath.
Out in front, Culbertson Bond has to make a big save, and Blaha was knocking on the door. Andrew Lowe exchanging words with he and Sam Sykes, and at 12:35, Culbertson Bond will pick that one out. 43-11 now the shots on goal total.
Yeah, not at all what head coach Arvanitis would want from his team. Normally wants to get the Sooners shots to at least 40 and keep the opposing team below 20.
And there it is again as Blaha will continue the scoring. Guerra in on the play as well. It's UCO 6-1, 12:33 to go in regulation time.
Another great shot from Blaha there with the pass from Zach Guerra. These Broncos always capitalize on the mistakes that your team makes, and the OU was unable to get it out of their own zone, allowing UCO to continue to get these critical shots off.
So 12:28, and the Sooners now down by 5 here. Will break back out. Here's Best with speed. He'll cross in onside, shoot one that is deflected wide. Davison couldn't get to the rebound. Here's Mondu back out. He'll watch and enter the zone, try to dangle around. He's still got possession. He'll play it in deep for Best. Aaron Best behind the goal line will try to lift the stick of his opponent. It comes around to Mikhailov, though, and he will dump it back out to center here. Pass it off the boards. Burton chasing in deep. Declan Martin watches as St. Clair will start the rush up the ice, and now pass off for Rebroker. Rebroker driving his way in, will play it to the forehand and take a hit from Nate Payne. Payne out from Martin as he tries to go near side, and Nate Payne has to play it back into the corner. Connor Horn again can't get the puck away as it bounces off of everybody, and Martin will deposit it back out to center. Sykes this way will forward it ahead. Rebroker passes Hunter Howe and into the zone for Connor Horn. 11:08 to go now in period number 3 as Sooners get it around to Nate Payne. He'll survey his options and come near side. He'll start it himself and take it up to center. Near side, Shura will take control near his own bench. He'll find Kraus. He dumps it in. Takes a hit from Connor Horn to make the play as Hunter Howe evades the hit. Here's Demanchuk. Couldn't get it to his stick. And now UCO again will break back out and dump it into OU territory. 10:34 to go here in Oklahoma's Division I play this season. Their game against Oklahoma State not counting towards their efforts towards the national tournament, no matter the result. As Hogan will steal a puck at center ice. He'll walk in. He'll shoot one on the far side. And Culbertson Bond pads it away. Taylor again will backhand it into OU ice. Here's Barone. 10:06 to go. Behind his own net. He takes a hit from a couple of Broncos. Finds Demanchuk. He'll play it across for Sinclair. Sinclair wraps it in. Wakeland has to play it behind his own net. He'll bounce off the boards and leave it behind for Jack Taylor. Jack Taylor across for St. Clair. St. Clair this way for Vitaly Mikhailov, who wraps it around for ACHA. ACHA watches it go back to the point for Dubecki, who forks it back in. Sooners trying to push it back out of the zone, and Tristan Glass will get back out to center. Takes a slash from Mikhailov, and that'll be a power play for the Sooners. Vitaly Mikhailov to the box, and Oklahoma with a power play at 9:27 to go here in regulation.
Yeah, and they really need to get some shots off right now. That 11 on the scoreboard right now is not at all, no matter how talented your roster is. When you have 11 shots against your opponent's 43, I mean, there's no way you're going to be able to score goals like that. And while maybe BCB should have been able to keep some of these out of the back of his net, he needs his offense to do something in order to help him out a little bit there.
So off the draw, the Sooners will try to push it in deep. Keep an eye on Culbertson Bond here just in case. The coaching staff will try to go as aggressive as they can. Mondu walking the line for Best. Play it back up top and now into the slot. Best, he'll fake a shot in for Best, whose shot is saved by Wakeland down to his knees.
Good opportunity there for Best, but again, nothing working right now. And it looks like Wakeland is taking his helmet off, but he seems okay. Maybe just readjusting for a minute. And the refs give him some time. The Oklahoma bench does not like what is going on right now.
So 9:06 to go, 138 on the Oklahoma power play. And we restart things now with the draw coming out into Oklahoma territory. Culbertson Bond plays it out of his net. He'll find Mondu on the near sideboards. Mondu for Best, and Aaron Best works his way out to center. He plays it ahead for Hunter Howe. Mondu again checks over his shoulder. 8:43 to go, and he'll spin off of Doucet. This way for Brendan Sinclair. He'll put it up the ice for Best. Best walks in, but he's ruled off sides. And 8:34 left. The Sooners will reset at neutral ice.
Exactly, nothing going the Sooners' way right now. That offsides call, a chance to reset. Hopefully, a fresh set of legs and players. Let them reset. Still 1 minute and 7 seconds remaining in this power play. Plenty of time to make a little bit of impact, even if that's just to cut into the goal differential. But something needs to happen now. This is the best chance for the Sooners.
As right off the draw, Andrew Lowe tried to get a sneaky shot far side. Here's Blake walking. He'll shoot one wide. Davison behind the net now, wraps it back up top for Barone. Barone this way for William Blake. Go all the way across for Sinclair. Sinclair thought about a shot near side. Blake, his shot is deflected out in front. He'll get his own rebound. All the way across, Barone shoots one, deflected by Wakeland. And Tristan Davison this way, Barone again. Go near side and hang on to a puck while searching for a friend. He finds Davison in the corner and will survey back up top for Blake. Blake walks the line, has a catch with Barone. Now in the corner again. Davison out in front, tried to find Will Blake in the slot, had his pass interrupted. As it comes back across, Sinclair watches it go all the way by him. And Culbertson Bond will come out the net to play it. 5 seconds to go here on the power play as UCO will work it back in front of everything. Carson Glass watches it go back by him. Cash Regan will force it back out to center. 7:15 to go now in regulation time. Power play is over as UCO, a shot deflected way up into the air, comes down in play, and Shura will play it around. Centering pass in front, Doucet, a backhander. Carson Glass able to clean up the loose change here. And this way for Shura, his shot deflected into the netting will stop the clock at 6:55.
And we'll say earlier that probably was the best looking Sooner power play we'd seen this weekend. But again, didn't result in anything for this team. So still much to work on this power play when facing off against UCO. And now an important defensive zone draw for the Sooners.
So right off the draw, Sooners trying to get things out of the zone. Can't do it. Broker will try to force it back in deep again. 6:43 to go up top. Krause tried to force it in for Doucet. He'll rewind and shoot one. Nets off the moorings. And Culbertson Bond goes down.
A little bit of a lucky break there for the Sooners. A great save by BCB on that first shot, but that rebound, it looked like Doucet was able to potentially get something working there, but with the net off of its pegs, time had to be stopped and they'll reset.
So back up top, it evades Krause. William Baird gets on his horse. He has a step on him, but Krause will win this skate race and play it across for Shura. Shura near side. Tristan Glass couldn't keep it onside, and Sykes with possession will break in deep. Sykes through the legs of Hunter Howe. Nice move there. He'll break around the OU cage and leave it behind for Blaha. Blaha again stopping and starting out front for a bumper shot. Tristan Glass puts a big hit on Sam Sykes afterwards. Play is still out in front, and Culbertson Bond makes a great save. 6:07 to go, and the Sooners break back out with Tristan Glass. Glass peppers Guerra with a couple of checks now as Krause will cross center ice and dump it in. Goes off the boot of Hunter Howe. Glass couldn't scoop that one up. He'll check behind him and play it all the way around the net for Connor Horn. Declan Martin again, ahead for Nate Payne. He'll gain the zone, tried to drop it behind, couldn't do it. And now Mondu watches it play back into the zone. Culbertson Bond will glove that one at 5:36 to go.
I'd say a pretty smart play there by Culbertson Bond, to glove that one down and stop some play for the Sooners. Let them catch their breath a little bit. It's 5:35 left. Trying to get something working, if not just to lower that deficit.
So a wrap chance off the draw. Dubecki trying to add to the total tonight. 5:25 to go. And back behind the net now. 2-on-2 fight for the puck. Mondu and Swearingen will watch Mikhailov swoop in and take control of this one. Has a goal in both games this weekend and over 5 points between them. Here's Taylor right by the blue line. He'll shoot one tipped in front, and Culbertson Bond will glove that one.
And Staltzer probably hoping to help there, catch any rebounds or bat something, deflect something off the air into the net, but Culbertson Bond swallowed that one up as to not allow any additional chances for these Broncos.
5:09 in regulation time. Sooners are going to need about a goal per minute if they want to get back into this one, as off the draw, a shot is blocked. Rebound is there, they score, make it a goal and a fifth. So with 5 minutes to go, UCO has 7-pieced Oklahoma. It's the most goals they've scored in this rivalry series since 2019.
Definitely not the way the Sooners want to wrap up ACHA, WCHL play. A lot of frustration, and we're starting to hear the chants and cheers from this UCO fan base here in Edmond.
And puck dropped at 4:55. So the Sooners will head back to the locker room tonight after a disappointing weekend against their rival Broncos, as behind the net, Hogan will play it off the wall for Williams. Williams shot deflected. Demanchuk on his horse will race back out to center. Here's Wakeland to play it. He will play it straight up into OU territory as Connor Horn plays it off the wall. Deflected out for Sinclair. Sinclair plays it ahead. And it's deflected by Burton. Another deflected puck. That one catches the netting, and 4:19 to go in the game. We'll wrap it up there.
Not quite the ending to this play in WCHL with their hopes for the tournament that the Sooners wanted. Of course, this series was not the ultimate determining factor in whether or not they'll be selected for the national tournament, but it definitely has an impact. And this will definitely not impress the computers of the ACHA when their rankings come out on Wednesday.
Certainly won't, as despite the high ranking of UCO, the Sooners wanted to at least get a point or two out of this weekend if they could. 4:03 to go now on the clock as the puck went out of play. And in front of the friendliest hosts in college hockey, Oklahoma will lick their wounds here as the puck is dropped. Mondu wins it back. Barone plays it off the boards. Best couldn't get it out of the zone. And Goldstein backhand around for Mondu. Back up into the air now. Sooners can't get possession. Dusay couldn't get his stick on the puck, and now Aaron Best will work his way out. Fights through a slash. Sooners going to go to the power play here late in the game. He finds Mondu. Mondu walking, shoots one high at the net. I think it caught the crossbar.
Another chance here for the Sooners as it looks like Dusay will be heading to the box for 2 minutes. If anything, the Sooners can just try to better themselves on the power play. But unfortunately, whether they score or not, it's not going to make a difference now with this 6-goal deficit as UCO leads 7-1.
We can see it below us. WCHL trophy in the building as the Broncos have nearly wrapped it up. Here's Glass behind the net. He'll spin it around and get it for Hunter Howe. 3:22 to go. Howe winds and shoots one. That is gloved by Wakeland.
A great chance there, and I think if you're the Sooners right now, you just want to try to get off as many shots as possible right now in the remaining minute, 47 seconds on the power play. A great look by Howe, an incredibly powerful shot. Almost down from one knee, but as we've said all weekend and all night, Wakeland barely letting anything past them, only 2 goals this entire weekend. And that's plenty when UCO has put up 12 for their netminder.
So Howe will stop one with his boot. Soccer style across for Aaron Best. Mondu at the point now. Inside for Howe. Best again will wind this one back around for his defenseman Howe. Mondu again. He'll play it inside for Glass. Glass this way. Howe, a shot deflected up high by Wakeland. Best again. A low shot deflected away and covered by Doug Wakeland.
And they shot there originally off the corner, an odd angle. Nearly from the point by Howe. Nothing doing. Another one for Best there. Scored the Sooners' only goal tonight. But nothing seems to be going their way. Have not been able to tilt the ice in their favor. Still 1 minute, 17 seconds left to make something happen.
So Culbertson Bond out to play this one. He'll corral it for Ben Mondu and leave it behind the net. Broker adding pressure here on the power play, and Mondu will break out for Hunter Howe. Howe near side for Martin. Martin chips it in. Here's Glass. Glass centering feed out in front for Nate Payne. Couldn't do anything with it. Now up top for Mondu. Mondu winds and shoots one that Wakeland covers.
And the line change again for the Sooners. Joining Declan Martin low, Blake Barone and Sinclair on the ice. Another special teams unit looking to get something working in the 51 seconds remaining on this power play, the 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in this third and final period.
So Barone will work it back into OU territory. 41 seconds to go. 2:12 in regulation time. He'll wind it in past Wakeland. This one will skip past everybody, and Will Blake will survey and play it in deep. Andrew Lowe chases after this one. First one to the puck in gray and winds it back around. Couldn't find a teammate, and it comes back to Culbertson Bond. 1:50 to go now, 16 seconds on the penalty. Barone, far side for Sinclair. He'll find Andrew Lowe. Played it off the boards, but fanned on it, and Baird will chase in. Will Baird for Lowe. He was able to get the puck back to his stick, rather. UCO back to full string. The spinning shot by Lowe missed everything. And William Blake throws a check in behind the net. 1:20 to go here in regulation time as UCO has thoroughly beaten the Sooners in 2 games this weekend. OU has looked good in spots, but the overall youth of this team just being shown up by the talent and experience on UCO, a team that will again this year threaten and compete with powerhouses like Minot, Adrian, and others for the ACHA National Championship in St. Louis. Sooners hope to be there, but right now they'll be relying on some other powers to help them around the league. Missouri State fighting against Maryville right now as we speak. Maryville, a top 10 team that beat Missouri State last night. Syracuse also facing off with a Sooner rival, that being Delaware University. And here late behind the play, Will Barrett's going to go to the box. 36.5 to go in regulation time.
And right now it's just about the Sooners trying to keep that scoreboard from turning to 8-1 for UCO right now. 36 seconds remaining in this third and final period of WCHL play and potentially ACH play for the Sooners, depending on whether or not they make it to the national tournament in St. Louis. However, this will not be their final game of the season, again, as they'll face off next weekend in Bedlam on ice against OSU, a historic rivalry between 2 teams that we've seen on the football field, on the basketball court, across many sports, and now you have your opportunity to see it on ice next weekend.
If you can't get your tickets, we'd love to see you back here on OU Hockey TV for our final game of the season. The Sooners win the puck back on this draw. There are 30 seconds to go in the game. It's 4-on-4 hockey as the puck is centered out in front. Nobody home here. And played back out in front. Here's Jack Taylor. Behind the net, Martin will hang on to this one. 12 seconds to go now. It looks like the Broncos will count things down. And once again, the WCHL goes to Central Oklahoma. 2 seconds and 1. There it is. The Broncos are champions of the conference for another year. They'll head on to the ACHA tournament, and Oklahoma will keep an eye on things outside of their control for the rest of the weekend and look forward to a celebration next week of this year against Oklahoma State.
Yeah, and as unfortunate as it is to see for us and other Sooner fans watching back home, you have to give it up to this UCO team, completely dominant this weekend against OU. And like you said, OU showed flashes of the team we saw last weekend that defeated Utah, but unfortunately not able to carry that for the full 60 minutes of each game. And they'll hope that some other teams can help them out and give them the chance to play in that national tournament. And despite some of the pushing and shoving that happened early on in this game, some exchanges, handshake line between the 2 teams as the UCO fans cheer on their team.
So the Sooners in the handshake line. Broncos will play us out to Queen this evening as they fight their way to another conference title and a high seed in the national tournament. We'll catch you next week. Keep in touch with us at Sooner Hockey TV on Twitter, across all other platforms at OU Hockey, and all across the web. You can find more at ouhockey.com. Thanks for joining us this weekend. For everybody in the arena, we hope you have a safe trip home. For everybody at home tonight, a fantastic rest of your weekend. For everybody on the crew, you've been watching OU Hockey TV.